Good evening, family and fellow Buccaneers. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2022 Jack Britt High School graduation. At this time, please remain standing for the posting of the colors in the Star-Spangled Banner. Good evening. My name is Catherine Oxendine, and I'm your senior class president. For the last 11 years, Jack Britt has had an Oxendine walk its halls. Today, I am sad to say those 11 years have come to an end. This is a night that many of us have either dreamed about or dreaded for the last 13 years. Graduation. We finally made it. This year has been filled with the best of times and the worst of times. We are one of the smallest classes Jack Britt has ever had at 360 students. We may be small, but we are mighty, and I could not be more proud of how far we have come. When we started high school, we dealt with new faces, confusing schedules, and some random kid who was famous for yodeling in Walmart. We were idealistic, smiling kids, and now we're leaving as adults. We have lost family members, friends, and classmates from not only the COVID-19 pandemic, but the mental health crisis that has taken over our generation. These last 2 years have been a struggle for many of us, myself included. We became lost and didn't know who we were and if we even belonged here. Remember, you always belong. It has taken a certain level of strength and resilience to be where we are today. As we go off to college, join the military, or start our careers, I want you all to remember that resilience, the way you pushed through and found joy in everyday life. I want to thank God for the opportunities He has offered me, to Ms. Corbett for being my second mom and supporting me as state president, to Coach Musselwhite for always having my back, to Mr. Pope and the Jack Britt administration for helping me to flourish these last 4 years, to Dr. Fields, Dr. Conley, and all of Cumberland County. Thank you for always having the best interest of the students at heart. Finally, I would like to thank my family for supporting me in everything I do, and to my best friend, my mom. I got this. Sorry. As I come to a closing, I want to leave a reminder with you all. Our words have tremendous power and are like seeds. By speaking them aloud, they are planted in our subconscious minds and produce fruit of some kind. Whether we say positive or negative words, we will reap exactly what we sow in every relationship. Again, welcome to the Jack Britt Class of 2022 graduation ceremony. Thank you for listening to me tonight, and remember, once a Buccaneer, always a Buccaneer. That's what she said. Please be seated.
It is my honor to introduce our special stage guests. Please stand to be acknowledged as your name is called. We ask that everyone please hold their applause until the last guest is introduced. Dr. Marvin Conley, Jr., the superintendent. And from the Cumberland County Board of Education, Greg West, Chair, Alicia Chisholm, Donna Van, and Susan Williams. And from Central Services, Dr. Mary Black, Betty Musselwhite, Ruben Reyes, Nick Soika, Dr. Lindsay Whitley, Dr. Stacy Wilson Norman, Dr. Jane Fields, and Dr. Tonjay Robertson. Thank you so much for being here and celebrating this event. You may be seated.
Good evening, family, friends, teachers, and fellow graduates. Congratulations on making it to this pivotal moment. You did it. There have been quite a few bumps along the way, but despite all the craziness over these past 4 years, we've made it to the end. We couldn't have done it without all the help from our parents, families, and teachers. Thank you for all that you've done to help us get to this point. It's hard to believe that we've come so far in 4 short years. Remember that first day of school, our freshman year? I remember being so nervous and unprepared, and then the bell rang. The bell had the exact same sound as a phone ringtone, and it scared me really bad. I thought someone's phone had gone off, and I thought that was the worst way to start out the first day of school. This was one of many things from the hallway experience to the class load that I had to adjust to. I had such a difficult time adjusting to high school that I didn't even do any after-school activities. Our sophomore year started out well enough. We were feeling more confident, and we weren't the dreaded freshmen anymore. We still had 3 years in front of us, but we were getting the hang of this high school thing. I even got up the courage to do a couple of after-school activities. In the fall, I presented on Snell's Law at the Central Carolina Community College Laser Fair with a group of friends, and we took first place. Then, in the spring, I joined the men's tennis team at the prompting of several friends. We were really soaking in the best high school had to offer. Then COVID hit and our world turned sideways. I'd only played one tennis game before they canceled the rest of the sports season, and I was really disappointed. I was stunned by the abrupt end to our sophomore year and hoped that things would return to normal quickly. Then we started our junior year of high school with online learning, which was anything but normal. It occurred to me that we've had the internet in our lives for as long as I can remember, so I'm not sure what made online learning so hard to start. It was definitely a crazy change, but thanks to our great teachers in schools, we made it through that crazy period of WebEx meetings and solely online classwork. To be honest, I really enjoyed the extra time that we had due to online learning, but really missed the in-person activities. Then we got to go back on an AV day schedule with those wonderful Wellness Wednesdays. This year really showed us what it means to be a Buccaneer. It means being there for each other and supporting each other when things get tough. I'm proud to be a Buccaneer. Thankfully, we were able to return fully in person during our senior year. We started out having to wear masks and social distancing in class, which is a unique experience to say the least. Thankfully, the restrictions have been lifted somewhat, and we've been able to more fully participate in the activities we missed during our junior year. I played tennis again this spring, and I really enjoyed being able to participate in a sport. I think my favorite part of this year has to be the senior breakfast. It felt so great to be back in the cafeteria and to be able to talk with friends I hadn't seen in person since my freshman year. One thing I have enjoyed about this crazy experience is not having to deal with a locker this year. But even with all these changes and the crazy high school experience, we've become stronger together and better prepared for our next steps in life, whether that's a 2-year school, college, the military, or the workforce. If COVID taught us anything, it's that we're ready for whatever life throws at us when we stand together as a community. While we all go our separate ways, we are connected as a class of 2022. No one has had or will ever have the high school experience we've had. Once a Buccaneer, always a Buccaneer. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I didn't write this down, but my name is Shay Oliver, and I'm your valedictorian this year. I'd just like to say hello to everyone, my classmates, teachers, friends, family, and all the staff from Jack Britt High School in Cumberland County. Now, I'm not sure how much my online FTCC public speaking class really prepared me for this moment. I never imagined going into high school that I would be up here on this stage giving a speech in front of my entire class. It's such a great honor, and I'm incredibly grateful to everybody who has helped me to get this far. My friends who have always been there for me, my family who pushed me to get this far, and my teachers who have put up with my poor time management throughout high school. Now, additionally, I would like to extend thanks to all the staff at Jack Britt High. I'd say that they run a pretty tight ship, pun intended. Even as we continue forward in our lives, I will always remember and cherish the friendships that I made over my years at Jack Britt. They've made life for me worth living. I don't know where I'd be without my closest friends. Even as we move forward in our lives, these friendships will hopefully continue to positively influence all of us in the future. Now, I would like to acknowledge everyone's accomplishments. We've all worked hard to get to this ceremony, from fighting WebEx and sketchy Wi-Fi to adjusting to our ever-changing new normal. And while I'm sure you've heard it many times, and you'll probably hear it 100 times more, I just want to say, congratulations. While we're all at the same ceremony, receiving the same high school diplomas, our experiences have differed. But in receiving our diplomas, we have all completed this relatively short yet influential chapter of our lives. Looking back, I'm sure that many of us as freshmen were eager to just finish with school. I know I've never been a massive fan of school myself, but this moment has made me realize just how much I'm going to miss it. Even though it's caused many of us stress and worry, for the most part, we will continue to look back fondly on our favorite high school memories with a sense of nostalgia that will only continue to grow. Now, I wish I had more to say about high school, but for me, I didn't really participate in much. I just played one sport, and I don't really have any other extracurriculars to speak of. Maybe you're in the same boat, and there's nothing wrong with that. No matter what, you showed up, you studied, you learned, and most importantly, you passed. I don't really have any personal anecdotes to impress you with, and maybe you don't either, but we're still young and we're still evolving with new experiences. For me, I can only look to the future, a topic that is likely occupying many of our minds. I, for one, can say that I feel a bit worried and uncertain about my future, and I'm sure that many of you may feel similarly, and that's okay. Whether it's considerations about further education, anticipation of joining the workforce of the military, or anything else, these things are beginning to become the new centerpieces in our lives and our source for worry and self-doubt. But regardless of this self-doubt we'll probably all experience, it is my hope that you go easier on yourself. Always remember that things are subject to change, and that no matter what direction life may take you, remember to make sure that you're doing something you love. Focus on the people and the relationships that make life worth living, not the things that you think you might want. Life is too short to waste worrying all the time. So let's all try to relax a little. In the words of Bob Marley, every little thing is going to be all right. Now, we all please rise for the singing of the alma mater.
Please be seated. Good evening, everyone. I have the honor and privilege of reading the names tonight for the 2022 Jack Britt graduating class. One quick reminder, please make sure friends and family in attendance to guarantee that each graduate's name is clearly heard. Please refrain from shouting, screaming, clapping, or any other disruptive noises as we call the names. If you would like to be recognized as your graduate walks across the stage, you may rise from your seat and again be seated when your graduate exits the stage. At the end of the ceremony, there will be ample time for you to express your pride and enthusiasm for all of our exceptional seniors. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. Joshua Thomas Abbott. Zainab Nasafi Salah Abdo. Benedict Bulawatife Adebola. Miriam Leila Agil. Cordelia Udo Agbele. Natalia Camilla Aguilar Bustamante. Amir Khalil Shamik Alfasa. Trayvon Linnell Allen. Joanna Christine Allgaier. Alan Anderson Almanzar Agramante. Reem Youssef Al-Shami. Kobe Lee Daiwan Anderson. Odina Kachukwu Osoluna Analifo. Lily Grace Atha. Jeffrey Senyo Atichobe. Michael Isaiah Cameron August. Brianna Imari Autry. Bryce Cameron Bailey. Jessica Olunike Balagan. Samia Halima Barley. Tristan Cole Beatty. Adria Gabrielle Bell. Madison Alanya Elise Bellows. Sebastian Benitez Martinez. Taylor Nicole Benson. Ashton William Berardi. Andrea Berries Beitia. Camille Baudre Berry. Gabrielle Nicole Barat. Elijah Wayne Biddle. Paris Almaria Black. Jade Tatiana Blackwell. Brittany Marie Blue. Trinity Keith Blue II. Thina Ari Camille Borough Clark. Tegan Ray Boseman. William Alexander Britt. Zachary Michael Brittner. Christina Natalia Brown. Alexis Nicole Bryant. Aiden Timothy Buckner, Samaya Deshawn Bullock, Hunter Thomas Bunton, Sarah Simone Bunyan, Josiah Chase Burbank, Tony Isaiah Burden, Kaylee Hazel Busby, Jaden Love Butcher, Anaya Nichelle Butler, Jacqueline Jade Butler, Joshua Paul Butler, Christian David Campos, Kevin Jose Campos, Donovan Michael Capps, Lucas Riley Carlton, Serenity Elise Carmichael, Amari Rosa Carrasco, Christopher Glenn Carrion, Pauline Carreño Castro, Jared Dylan Chandler, Logan Nathaniel Charlesworth, Colin Samuel Sharon, Michael Chavez, Hyungjun Choi, Hannah Chung, Joseph Marlon Sapola, Daniela Leah Collette, Nicole Marie Colocho, Jeffrey Earl Colson Jr., Gracie Delane Cook, Jacob Adam Cooper, Cole Douglas Coppoler, Delaney Sage Coppoler, Carlos Augusto Cordova Serengo, Aubrey Renee Couch, Ronald Christopher Crosby III, Emma Sue Curry, Serafina Marisa Cuscano, Amari Jamonte Daniels, Jacqueline Renee Davis, Catherine Rosemary Delgado, Sergio Michael DeLuca, Brianna Elizabeth Mary Dennison, Eternity Joy Denton, Richard Edward DeVault IV, Avery Christian Dixon, Justin Huang Do, Luca Richard Duarch, Charles B. Duke IV, Khalil William Duncan, Julia Elizabeth Dyer, Shalia Monet Ellis, Jordan Lucille Everett, Felix Alexander Facundo, Gino Luanya Fama, Ariana Gayla Jerice Farve, Charles Edward Fellers, Chase Brian Fellers, Sarah Catherine Field, Rayana Renee Fields, Nicole Eva Filipova, Jeffrey Earl Colson, Naya Edna Filzame, Autumn Rain Fisher, Madison K. Fitzpatrick, Wyatt Andrew Fogel, Anthony Luis Fontanez, Alexander Fox III, Kylie Jade Francisco, Kaylee Nicole Frank, Christopher Brem Frederick, Jeremiah Adante Foltz, Logan Edward Gage, Michelle Galarza Devalle, Destiny Diane Garcia, Madison Catherine Guyton, Ryan Christopher Geneva, Maya Rosa Sonia Gora, Timerian Nasir Gibson, Jada Nicole Jinak, Jonte Delvan Gilbreth, Alexander Daniel Gina, Dylan Andrew Given, Trinity Denise Glover, Zion Samari Muhammad Glover, Mark Matthew Gobrick, Mariah Lynn Godwin, Antonio Jose Gonzalez, Carlos Munoz Gonzalez, Ethan James Gui Guy, Asia Caitlin Graham, Hyacinth Nicole Gray, Jasmine Alina Griffin, Emily Celeste Grimaldo, Isaiah Tyrell Grimsley, Evelise Leora Guerriere, Janasia Lene Gwynn, Jagu Ha, Eliana Grace Haddock, Meredith Kiyomi Hamby, Quinton June Hamilton, Jordan Amber Hardy, Maya Faith Harris, Alyssa Eileen Hauser, Sanaya Lachey Hayes, Damari Henderson, Aiden Matthew Hendricks, Noah Mathurin Heisey, Rashawn Stillman Hill, Divinity Nur Aurora Hilton, Aaliyah Michelle Hines, Jonathan Gabriel Hips, Madeline Jane Hoffhines, Ethan Gage Holland, Christian Malik Holmes, Jaden Carmelo Hopkins, Hannah Camille Hoskinson, Nyasia Tazi Najee House, Nicholas Khan Hun, Sharon Danae Hyde, Brianna Nicole Hyman, Randy Anthony James II, Zaylee Jade Jasanowski, Tyler Joseph, say it again, Tyler Joseph Jeffress, Dayla Lynn Johnson, Joshua David Johnson, Kyle Nathaniel Johnson, Zoe Rajan Johnson, Brianna Fumi Jones, Caleb Alexander Keala Ka'i Kawa Jones. Tyler David Jones. Sanaya Joyce Keelan. Austin Neil Keene. Jalen Kamaya Keller. Charles Aiden Santos Kelly. Jacob Donovan Kelsall. Aiden Michael Kennedy. Antoine Jacob Kincaid III. Charles Brian King. Serenity Rayanne Corotage. Alex Quisian. Xavier Thomas Lee. Simquan Terrell Leith. Travion Jamon Lassane. Erica Nicole Lightfoot. Lola Isabella Lindecker. Ella Jordan Little. Jason Najee Little. Joseph Sean Locke. Ashton Isaiah Malave. Heba Muyad Mansef. Abigail Karina Marshall. Jeswin Matthew. Noah Michael Matthews. Michael Isaac McAllister. Christopher Jacquis MacArthur. Taylor Michelle McBride. Landon Dale Everett McClenny. Kalima LaRusha McCoy. Samantha Marie McCoy. Sadia Iman McDonald. Ryan Thomas McGrath. Ariana Caprice McIver. Erica Sonara Janae McNeil. Addison Kate McNeil. Michaela Michelle McNeil. Mariana Medina. Sierra Nicole Medlin. Kian Chase Merchant. Zoe Elizabeth Merchant. Anaya DeMaurice Middleton. Emily June Miller. John Allen Miller. Jaden Carissa Milliman. John Xander Miramontes. Fuka Moore. Timothy Bruce Moore, Jr. Atlantis Jasmine Moorhead. Jair Jamai Morrison. Chloe Michaela Morton. Julia Elizabeth Gonchijo Mundy. Hayden Lee Neidig. Natanya Bailey Nell. Skylar Ann Nelson. Kevin Min Wen. Annabelle Lucinda Nichols. Xavier Michael Nixon. Lydia Taylor North. Amara Desiree O'Neill. Andrew Matthew Oliver. Shay Thomas Oliver. Moises Ornelas Partida. Kevin Joshua Ortiz. Catherine Noel Oxendine. Miriam Rachel Pate. Aaliyah Lynn Pamplin. Sehun Park. Dimitri Dominic Patterson. Caitlin Rose Pauley. Ariana Elizabeth Paulhamus. Jalen Sierra Person. Jordan Terrell Peterkin. Haley Nakaya Marie Pierce. Mario Arnez Pierce, Jr. Emily Monique Pearsall. Fernando Andre Paquette Padden. Seth Ryan Pizzulo. Jennifer Pongnon. Leonti Olegovich Popov. Micah Talal Powers. Versace Nizer Prue. Sydney Alton Alexander Proctor. Kendra Nicole Pugh. Amelia Elizabeth Quarlino. Cassidy Amber Quarterman. Munifa Amira Rahman. Maya Grace Rains. Julian Kenta Resegi. Savannah Marie Josephine Reyes. Cameron Daniel Reynolds. Omarion Khalik Richardson. Gabrielle Elizabeth Rinaldi. Jael Xavier Rivera. Amina Rivera Martinez. Briangeli Rivera Mercado. Isaiah Caesar Roberts. Gerardo Rodriguez, Jr. Jaylani Ann Rodriguez. Stacy Elizabeth Rodriguez. Benjamin Michael Rogers. Wesley Adalberto Romero. Kelvin Abdiel Rosa Molieres. Brianna Paige Rosando. Angelina Valeria Rosario. Paul Marquise Royal. Toby Dennis Rusinko. Dakota Edward Ryan. Dylan Thomas Ryan. Sean Patrick Ryan. Kiara Isabel Sanchez. Juan Carlos Sandoval Harrow. Demacia Josefa Santizo. Tyler James Scarborough. Callie May Schmidt. Alexis Renee Seabright. Brianna Sanaya Seeley. Lauren Ashley C. Jacob Herrick Seaver. Andrew Christopher Schaefer. Mylia Charlene Schaefer. Sam Sadek Shabane. Tucker Karsten Shank. Rachel Grace Shelton. Thomas Alexander Shull. Jaden Anairi Sidbury, Mabin Simfukwe III, Charvaye Berard Simeon II, Michaela Atiba Sims, Micah Ashanti Sims, Cosima Inez Miranda Smith, Devin De Laurentiis Smith, Jr., Jada Ashley Smith, Kayla Janine Smith, Jacob Robert Snoddy, Kevin Eddie Soto, Gregory Paramanoff Suter, Tristan Matthew Sutherland, Amaya Grace Stokes, Adriel Randall Ryuchi Searles, Tava Aliyah Searles, Yanaya Ariana Searles, Ashley Nicole Tassin, Dylan Demarion Taylor, Clarissa Jasmine Taylor, Jameer Terrell Thomas, Nehemiah Tyshawn Thomas Flournoy, Matthew Joseph Thompson, Richard Germain Thorpe, Paul Francis Tulin, Lanaya Angela Soleil Torrens, Zachary Craig Traum, Amaya Talia Tucker, in memory of Gavin Gerard Valson, Gabriel Alex Valencia, Alicia Abriana Valentin, Michael Thomas Van Cleve, Ryan Vargas, Ella Jade Vasquez, Keisha Lee Velez Albino, Jamel Tyreek Vereen, Joseph Michael Foyles, Brian Lavelle Walker Jr., Julianne Lorena Wallace, Ian Ugana Lewis Wonky, Sean Ryan Ward, Devin Michael Washington, Michaela Cheyenne Watson, Montrell Khalil West, Aiden James White, Donovan Marshall Whitfield, Jada Anaya Hazel Whitsey, Grace Abigail Wiegand, Adriana Theone Williams, Haley Elizabeth Williams, India Nicole Williams, Taj Alvarado Wilson, Hanif Namir Wilson Walton, Troy Ishmael Winder, Dominic Jaden Winter Bates, Janaya Monet Wyatt, Zainice Kamora Wynn, Simon Yang, Katie Amanda Zavala Aguilar.
Let me have your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody gets a diploma until I get finished. Let me have your attention, please. We understand your enthusiasm. There'll be plenty of time for that. Please give us our moment. Thank you. Senior class of 2022, I'm very proud of you. Please stand. Thank you, audience. As the principal of Jack Britt High School, I certify that these seniors have met all the requirements set forth by Cumberland County Public Schools and the state of North Carolina. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare the class of 2022 graduates of Jack Britt High School, you may turn your tassels. Congratulations, graduates.
Back adventure.